Some cool things in loops that we've seen in one of the examples already is that we can skip things. We can implement conditions to break out of a loop and just say, don't do this to the very end. I'm done now. I don't need any more. Or we can also skip executions in certain branches when we are finding something has happened that prevents us from wanting to execute the rest of the block inside of a loop, and instead start with the next iteration of the loop. And the keywords here are usually break and continue. So let's look at that for Python. We have a for variable in a sequence, right? So for variable in sequence statement. So this is the same definition that we had before. And we use the counting and adding examples. So here now, import numpy for x in range up to 11. So this starts at 0 and goes to 10. If x is 2, print 2 is prime and then continue. So we don't need to execute the part where we're testing for 5 or where we're printing the value of x. Somebody just really needs to get off their chest that 2 is a prime number, and therefore the value is already printed. We don't need to deal with this business here, and we're done. Okay, if it is 0, this isn't true. This isn't true. We're just printing x here. The print syntax is it's a little funky. That will be an in-depth topic of a later video. Basically, we have a symbol here or a string that has these special characters. %d means format the value that you find in the variable behind this % here as an integer. So no .0 or anything, just integer numbers. Okay, so for everything but 2 and 5, this is going to happen. So for 1, we'll print x equals 1. For 2, we shout out that 2 is prime. Before go, all of this business down here, we just continue with 3. We go here and print this. 4, go here and print this. 5. Okay, so for some reason, somebody says at 5, we actually want to stop and break. This might seem like an artificial example, but you could think that somebody's going through user input and is waiting for a special character that should stop the execution of the program. And break is a good way to do that. In the shell, the example here is a little bit different. So let's walk through this. We have a counter variable. We set this to 0. In for each, we give variables all the file names in the current directory. So ls means list. Now in these brackets, we have the list of all of the file names that are in that directory because that's where it's been executed. We test what the values of x are. If x is for each break example.csh, then it's going to shout out, whoa, that's me, because that's what this example file is named. This is me, continue, omit everything below. It found itself. Now, if it is not for each break example, then it's just going to list what it is. If count is larger than or equal to 10, then it's going to say, I've got enough files, or I've got 10 files, I am done. These funky symbols here only indicate that there are white spaces in the code, and it's gonna break. And that's it. If it isn't at 10 yet, it's going to increment the counter by 1 and start this again.